Right now, we are learning details on what shut down an entire neighborhood in Darien overnight. We'll share what we know so far.
And slow down. That's the message officers have for people speeding on the Beltline after writing multiple tickets for people going more than 90 miles per hour.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on a Tuesday morning, May 14th. As you can see, our team has grown.
Is that the newest member of the team?
Yeah.
You know, Lee is our proud Wisconsin girl right here.
I am. I made an unfortunate purchase of a cow footstool, and Josh won't let me forget it. It's non-returnable, by the way, so he's sticking around. News 3 Now mascot.
We walked in at 3 a.m. this morning, and this was sitting on her desk. Everyone was wondering what was going on.
You had it delivered to the station?
I did. That was probably my first mistake. So now everyone knows what my house decor is.
Oh,
it's
my.
all cow.
Well, it's a conversation piece.
And you named it, too.
I named it Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw. I was going to go with Bessie.
You know what? We're going to put, we need something a little different. We're going to put Tim outside today so I don't have to be reminded of this purchase, and because it's a pretty nice day to be outside.
Moving on to weather.
You got to clean up. You got to clean up after Tim. I'm not cleaning that up. If he makes a mess in the patio, you're in trouble. He's very cute. A live look from the Edgewater Skycam. We're a little punchy this morning. Sun's up. We have a great forecast coming up for the day today. Take a look at the lake. Looks pretty calm this morning. We're not dealing with much of a wind. Temperatures, though, are still dropping. 41 here in Madison, 41 in Janesville, still 45 in Mineral Point and Platteville, down to 44 now in the Dells. We're not going to drop much further, though, with the sun already up. It's going to be a quick warm-up this morning. Already back into the low 50s by 8 o'clock, heading to highs pretty close to 70 degrees later on this afternoon with partly sunny skies. There's just a slight chance for a shower this afternoon into tonight. Otherwise, a look at your first alert traffic report. Haven't gotten any reports of cows or cattle on the road, so that is good news, Leah.
Come on, you guys.
That happens, Leah.
Oh, it's
that
me.
does happen.
It was me.
Oh, boy. No delays right now. No accidents report either. Here's a look at your drive times as you head into Madison, still going at posted speeds.
I have to go back to that forecast, though. Just an utterly beautiful one. How's my pun?
That sunshine's kind of some deja vu.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. You guys here all week? Did you hear any words that I said?
New comedian jobs. New comedian jobs.
We're pretty good.
Nice
Thank
work.
you,
That's
Patty.
something.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ads. Breaking overnight, we are waiting to hear more from police on what they're calling a major incident in Walworth County. Officers haven't confirmed anything about the situation. Our CBS affiliate in Milwaukee is reporting a Darien neighborhood was shut down last night and no one was able to get in or leave the area. Some neighbors said they believed it was a domestic hostage situation, though again, police have not confirmed any of those details for us. Be sure to stay with News 3 Now and Channel3000.com for updates throughout the morning as we learn more.
Into the Channel 3000 Alert Center this morning, yet another Democrat is launching a presidential bid. Montana Governor Steve Bullock is the 22nd candidate to officially announce his candidacy, posting a video online just within the last hour here. Bullock says he will push progressive policies from a, quote, red state perspective. He's kicking off his campaign with a string of TV interviews starting tomorrow before heading to campaign in Iowa. In more local news this morning, it might be another month before Madison School Board names an interim replacement for outgoing Superintendent Jennifer Cheatham. That's according to the State Journal this morning. Board members voted last night to push back a decision on naming an interim superintendent until sometime in June so they can get more input from the community. Cheatham announced last week she was stepping down to take a job at the Harvard School of Education. She is expected to stay on as superintendent through August to help her replacement transition into the role.
6:04 right now. We might get a better idea tonight on a timeline for building a new grocery store along South Park Street. The current Pick and Save store at South Park Street is slated to be torn down as part of a project for SSM Health. That would have left the neighborhood in what's considered a food desert with no grocery store in the area. A new development in a nearby lot will include a new grocery store, but progress on plans for that lot have stalled. The city is putting out a new request for bids at their Common Council meeting tonight. SSM Health says they'll coordinate timelines on both projects to make sure the neighborhood doesn't go without a place to buy groceries.
The city of Madison is looking for more of your feedback when it comes to the bus rapid transit program. City leaders are talking about potential routes and station locations along the proposed east to west BRT corridor. You're invited to a meeting tonight at the Madison Senior Center that starts at 6 and is expected to wrap up around 7:30. If you can't make it, you can go online to take a survey on the subject at madisonbrt.metroquest.com.
2 Verona schools are expected to hold class as normal today after being secured for a short time yesterday afternoon due to a report of a man with a gun nearby. Sugar Creek Elementary School and New Century Charter School were placed on building secure status when a man was reported walking with a long gun yesterday morning around 11:45. The man was walking on Military Ridge Bike Trail. Police were able to contact him there. He was actually hunting in the public hunting grounds just west of Verona. Police did determine there was no threat to the community.
Columbia County deputies are asking for more information on the whereabouts of this man, 30-year-old Joshua Martin, this morning. They say he's a person of interest in an incident yesterday where a deputy was sprayed with mace during a traffic stop. Officers later found the truck that was involved, which had been stolen earlier in the day. Martin is listed as missing out of Dane County, though authorities say he may be in a mental health crisis. He was last believed to be in West Point Township near Prairie du Sac.
The town of Madison is cracking down on speeders on the Beltline. This after an officer pulled over 5 high-speed drivers over the weekend. This is video of one of those incidents where the driver here was going 105 miles an hour. Yes, 105. The same officer also caught drivers going 97, 92, 81, and 79 miles per hour this weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, the cheapest ticket, around $150. The most expensive, nearly $440. 4 local law enforcement officers are getting national recognition for their work on the day of the WTS Paradigm shooting last September. Over the weekend, the National Association of Police Organizations in D.C. honored Officer Rich O'Connor and Sergeant Tyler Lothar, the Middleton Police Department, with National Top Cop Awards. Dane County deputies David Lambrecht and Matthew Earl also received the same recognition. These 4 officers were the first on the scene of that workplace shooting, confronting the shooter.
Those awards come as Law Enforcement Week continues across the country today. The celebration also serves as a time to learn about some of the biggest issues in the law enforcement world.
Our Adam Duxter joins us live from the Madison Police Department to explain this morning. Good morning, Adam.
Oh, good morning, guys. And yeah, like you said, all the things we're seeing nationally on the big scale this week, we're also seeing on the small scale. So celebrating all the great things Madison Police and Wisconsin Police are doing, but also trying to address some of those highlight issues too. And also remember some of the folks who have lost their lives in the line of duty this year. And I'm joined by Madison Police Officer Scott Favor. And with it being National Law Enforcement Week, I have to ask you, how did you first become a police officer? Was it something you always dreamed of?
It wasn't. I had a college roommate once that told me, hey, I think you'd be good at being a cop. And that got inside my head. And then as I started out as a teacher and just applied for a job initially in Indianapolis, then moved and got involved in it in California. I went to police academy on nights and weekends and was able to get a job in the state of California before moving back here to Wisconsin.
We've seen recruitment issues nationally. Is that something we're seeing here in Madison?
Yes, our applications are down, but this is the greatest job in the world. It's a lot of fun. It's a good job if you are interested in serving the public. So go to madisonpolice.com, join the team, and learn about it.
Just a few days ago, we honored a few police officers from Wisconsin who lost their lives in the line of duty. How do you balance doing your job well while also being aware of some of the factors that could be dangerous to you?
We're well trained. We have great in-service training. We also constantly train physically and mentally. We do a lot of mental rehearsal of calls so that when we go on a dangerous call, hopefully we've already thought our way through in our heads how we might handle that call beforehand so that we're not caught by surprise. And we'll rely on our training and our partners to carry us through. Mm-hmm. And I think after sometimes a high-risk call, you realize, boy, that could have been scary, but during the incident, it really wasn't because you're just relying on your partners, relying on your training, and your mental rehearsal to pull you through.
Well, thank you. We'll have more at 6:30, but for now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Adam Duxter live at Madison Police Department this morning. Adam, thank you.
6:09 your time now. Still ahead as lawmakers continue to go over the governor's budget proposal. We are talking to the state's ag secretary about how some of those proposals could affect farmers and smaller communities in southern Wisconsin.
And it might not be what our farmers want to hear, but there is a chance for more rain this week. But that is an incredible sunrise shot out of Platteville. Hattie's also talking more of that sunshine coming up in her first lower forecast. Keep watching News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. A cool start this morning, but sun is already up and skies are clear, so I would expect a pretty quick warm up through the morning. Yesterday, temperatures warmed quickly and it was a beautiful afternoon. Take a look at high temperatures across the region. Lots of 60s on the map, but even a couple 70s to note. 70 yesterday in La Crosse, as well as Superior. Just a few days ago, Superior had snow. It was noticeably cooler, though, in Milwaukee as that lake breeze develops. It's pretty typical this time of the year with the cooler waters over Lake Michigan. Temperatures only topped in the 50s along the lakeshore areas. Now this morning, things are pretty quiet around here, but I'm watching a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity rolling across Iowa. The movement on this particular system is to the south and east, so that'll take most of that moisture south of the state line. Can't rule out an isolated shower this afternoon, but again, most areas staying dry. Weather track will show you that there are some clouds, though, out to the west, so skies will turn partly sunny as we head towards the afternoon hours today. A live look from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville this morning. Beautiful sunrise there, lots of oranges and yellows in the sky. Temperature in Platteville is 45 degrees, so it's a little bit warmer there than it is here in Madison. 41 is our current temperature in the capital city. It's 37, though, in Watertown. Temperatures are Going to start to warm up, though, pretty quickly today. Winds are very light from the southwest, if not calm this morning. They'll stay light from the southwest through the day. Your future track forecast model for the next day calls for temperatures to quickly warm this morning into the mid-60s by lunchtime, then topping right around 70 later on this afternoon. Now, with a weak cold front moving through the area tonight, there's an isolated chance for a shower again overnight, but it looks like just clouds will mainly be the result from that front. Temperatures will start in the 50s tomorrow. Here's a look at the GFS forecast model a little bit farther out. We have better chances for rain coming into the area on Thursday, and then it looks like that rain may sink to the south through most of the day on Friday. Can't rule out some rain in the morning, and then again late on Friday. Saturday and Sunday still keep on and off rain showers in the forecast as we go through the weekend. So here's a look at potential rain amounts going from today through late on Sunday. We could see some pretty heavy amounts when you add it up over the next several days. Your extended forecast, though, has at least warmer temperatures. We're in the 70s starting tomorrow and then through the upcoming weekend. Keep in mind, though, if you have outdoor plans this weekend, pay close attention to the forecast. With that front right around the area, a few things could change as we head into the weekend. It's time to get a look at your First Alert traffic maps this morning. Josh Tim has all the details. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, it's another good start to the commute on the Beltline. No major delays showing up yet in either direction. Other roads here in Dane County looking good right now. You might see a few brake lights, though, on the northbound side of Rona Road approaching the Beltline ramps. Really nothing to worry about downtown around campus. Volume is not an issue at this point. And other main routes heading into the city, they're still moving at the posted speeds with no crashes or delays. Your First Alert Traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
All right, Josh, thank you. And Hattie, thank you as well. 6:16 right now. Agriculture continues to be a big part of Wisconsin's identity and economy. And it's no surprise many of the budget items being considered at the state capitol involve the ag industry.
This is an issue close to my heart. Brad Pfaff is the DACAP secretary. He's joining us this morning to talk about initiatives and how they might help our farmers. Good morning.
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me here. And a special shout out to all our family farmers that are out in the barns this morning, milking the cows and feeding the calves.
Points for that. Hey, let's start with the trade war with China. The latest news is that President Trump is saying it might be 3 to 4 weeks before we see whether the trade talks are working. What can Wisconsin be doing to sort of bridge the gap there, to be helping our farmers in the meantime?
Well, that's a very good question, but I will say this. First of all, farmers want trade. They appreciate the financial aid, but they'd rather have trade. They want to be able to sell their goods. They work very hard in order to produce these goods. They've worked very hard to create these markets, these international markets. We need to make sure that we continue to supply our international buyers with the good products that come from our farm fields here in the state of Wisconsin. So what can we do here in the state of Wisconsin? At DACAP, Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection, I'm continuing to communicate with our U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue, as well as our U.S. Trade Representative's office in order to explain the fact that we here in Wisconsin, we are committed to continue to provide our foreign buyers with the products that we grow here in the state, and we ask them to move forward to ratify existing trade agreements that we have, as well as to make sure that we lift what tariffs are put in place.
You've talked in the past about how important it is to find new markets. Talk a little bit about the new NAFTA with Mexico and Canada, because these are old markets that are really important to our state.
They are very important to our state. In fact, Canada and Mexico are number one and number three when it comes to the Wisconsin products that we are selling, with Canada being number one and Mexico being number three. China is number two. We need to make sure that we can continue to move the products that we grow here in the state of Wisconsin. Obviously, we produce more than we can possibly consume, so making sure that we can sell our products, not just domestically, but also internationally, is very important. Canada and Mexico have been very good markets for us. In fact, just last week I was in Mexico, had the opportunity to meet some of the farmers and some of the buyers of our products. What's interesting, where I was in central Mexico last week, is the footprint of Wisconsin agriculture is all over the Mexican dairy industry. The genetics for their dairy cows come from right here in Wisconsin. Their milking systems come from right here in Wisconsin. Their tractors and their equipment are made from Case IH and New Holland, right here in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's agriculture productivity is well known around the world. The quality of our craftsmanship is well known. We want to be able to continue to sell our products internationally.
You know, one of those things, obviously, Wisconsin farmers have had a tough couple of years. What are those things that you're going to be working on here in the near future to kind of help those families that are really struggling right now?
Well, that's a very good question, and I am very pleased that the Governor Evers' 2019-2021 biennial budget does a number of things that will, number one, help provide more income-generating opportunities on the farm, and number two, will help drive down the cost of doing business. So let's talk about some of these income-generating opportunities. We want to be able to sell our products, may it be locally, regionally, statewide, nationally, or internationally. Within the governor's budget, there's a Buy Local, Buy Wisconsin initiative in order to make sure we can sell more products locally. There's also an international market export initiatives within the governor's budget. The governor is also recognizes the fact that we need to continue to provide consumers with products that they want to be able to consume. Just a few weeks ago, working with the dairy farmers of Wisconsin, the governor announced a $750,000 initiative that will go to the Center for Dairy Research at the University of Wisconsin-Madison in order to help researchers find more uses for milk as far as for fluid consumption. Fluid consumption of milk has declined. While overall dairy consumption has increased, the consumption of fluid milk has declined. But we all know that people like to drink fluid products. What can we do to get more fluid milk or fluid milk products within the overall consumer marketplace? That's what we're looking at. Obviously, there has to be more than just skim 1%, 2% whole milk. There's got to be opportunities for us to be able to provide new products. So the governor's investing in that. But what he's also doing is helping farmers in rural communities and rural people as far as to make sure that they can lower their costs. What can we do to do that? Well, number one, we need to make sure that people in rural areas, may they be in rural Iowa County or rural La Crosse County, have an opportunity to have 21st century technology. What kind of technology? Broadband. Wireless broadband, a $78 million investment the governor has within the 2019-2021 budget. Also, we need to make sure that we keep healthcare accessibility and affordability. The governor is seeking the federal Medicaid dollars that we as taxpayers, the state of Wisconsin, have paid in throughout all these years. He's seeking that money back as part of the budget. It only makes sense. We need to make sure that we keep our rural health care infrastructure in place because it's very important for rural residents as well as suburban and urban residents. And we just need to make sure that we have a transportation system that meets the needs of a growing economy like we have here in the state of Wisconsin. In order to get our goods off of our farm fields and out of our dairy barns, they need to travel on our rural roads and our state roads. And in order to bring these finished products to consumers in the urban areas, they need to travel on good roads. The
So
governor
much
invests
stuff,
in that.
Brad. Wow, we so appreciate you coming on and talking about this.
Thank you very much for everything that you do, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
All right, it's 6:22 right now. So Lee and I are hoping to get out to Devil's Lake sometime soon. It is kayak season after all.
Oh, yeah.
But before the park sees a spike in visitors, area first responders are practicing some pretty dramatic rescue situations there. We'll tell you more about those training exercises coming up on News 3 Now this morning.
And it might be a good week to get outside if those rain chances stay away. Look at that sunrise, folks. Get outside, take a picture, enjoy it. Hattie's up next with your forecast when News 3 Now this morning returns.
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. Starting off with sunshine this morning and beautiful conditions across southern Wisconsin. Take a look behind me. This is from the Edgewater Skycam, looking out over Lake Mendota, looking a little bit like a mirror this morning. So nice, calm, quiet start to the day. Leah's got that cow stool, but I have polar bear cam. Polar bears are out this morning, walking around, enjoying the cooler temperatures. Might get a little warm for them later on today as we approach 70 degrees. Temperatures are a little bit warmer this morning than they were yesterday at this time. Here are the actual numbers: 41 in Madison, 40 in Lone Rock, 38 in Boscobel, 45 though in the Dells. Winds I mentioned though are pretty light right now and will stay light from the southwest through the day. As you send the kids to the bus stop this morning, temperatures will already be in the 50s by 8 o'clock. We're looking at highs pretty close to 70 later on this afternoon. Great day all around today. Have a wonderful day.
All right, Hetty, thank you. 6:27 right now. Millions of people visit Devil's Lake State Park every year. We're, of course, just two of those. But sadly, not every visitor makes it through their trip safely.
So we want to introduce you to the people who are prepared to help in those situations. They're the Baraboo Rope Rescue Team. They're made up of Baraboo firefighters, EMS, and the UW Med Flight. Last night, they practiced their first rope rescue of the season at Devil's Lake. They sent down a patient who'd acted like they'd fallen while rock climbing. Then they fed down a paramedic and a basket handler to help bring them back up. The rope rescue manager says this scenario happens in real life about 5 times a year. So the team practices their protocol up to a dozen times. While they are ready to help, they say the most important thing to remember ahead of your visit is to simply stay on the trails.
I think that's one of those things that we have to remember, even though sometimes you think you can get that better view if you just kind of mosey on off. But obviously, you don't want to put yourself and others in that type of situation.
Exactly. Enjoy the beauty from the safety of the designated areas.
Follow those rules. All right, 6:28 right now. Still to come, a heads up if you use Roundup in your garden. One company is ordered to pay a California couple billions of dollars. Why they say a weed killer gave them cancer.
And parents in some prairies say they've had enough. They're speaking out at a school board meeting about multiple reports of bullying in the district. More local news is straight ahead on News 3 Now this morning.
It's National Law Enforcement Week, what that means for officers right here in Madison.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for staying with us on this Tuesday, May 14th. Another sunny start out there to the day.
Oh, yeah. Hattie's out on her patio without the rain boots, without the winter coat. What is this, Hattie? Spring?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been so long since we've had nice temperatures that I don't even know what season to call this anymore. But we are going to warm up. We do have sunshine in the forecast. Things are looking up for us as we go through the rest of the week, temperature-wise. Let's take a look outside this morning. A live look from the WISC-TV Skycam. Skies are clear early this morning. We will have temperatures, though, starting out pretty close to 40 degrees in many spots. In fact, a few areas are below 40, 38 in Watertown and 38 in Boscobel, 41 here in Madison and Janesville, up to 46 now in Platteville. Temperatures have likely dropped to the coldest numbers that we'll see this morning. We'll start to see them climb pretty quickly today. As you head out the door, don't forget those sunglasses. You'll need them again. Temperatures will already be in the mid-50s by 9 o'clock. We're headed to highs right around 70 later on this afternoon. Let's get a look at those traffic maps, see if anything has changed across southern Wisconsin over the last few minutes. It is starting to look a little busier on Stoughton Road, north and south of the Beltline this morning. Little congestion as well on Park Street heading out of the downtown areas. Nothing major happening to slow you down just yet, but you might want to add a few extra minutes if you take Verona Road to the Beltline. Here's a look at your drive times and speeds. Again, it's a little slower northbound 151. Otherwise, no accidents to report.
Definitely one of those mornings you're going to want to remember the shades again.
Yep, you'll need them again.
All right, Hads, thanks.
You're welcome.
Topping the news this half hour, U.S. Attorney General William Barr is ordering a review of how the investigation into Russia's meddling in the U.S. elections started. Barr made that order last night. He's appointing a federal prosecutor from Connecticut to help him look into whether the intelligence gathering activities that were directed at the Trump campaign were legal or appropriate. Barr claimed during his testimony last month that he believes the Trump campaign was spied on, but he didn't elaborate what led him to that belief. President Trump has repeatedly called for an investigation into how the Russia probe had first started.
6:34 right now. A popular weed killer is once again being found responsible for causing cancer. A jury in Oakland determined long-term exposure to Monsanto's Roundup was to blame for a couple's cancer diagnosis. They awarded that couple more than $2 billion in a verdict yesterday. Their attorneys say the couple used Roundup on their property for more than 30 years and were both diagnosed with the same type of cancer 4 years apart. It's just the latest in a string of rulings against the company, with thousands of other cases still pending at the state and federal level. Bayer, the parent company of Monsanto, insists the key ingredients in Roundup is safe and plans to appeal the ruling.
A newly formed group of parents is demanding answers in Sun Prairie this morning for what they're calling an increase in bullying inside their schools. At last night's board meeting, a representative from that group asked the district to keep track of bullying data and to make that information public. She says she also wants the district to clarify what counts as bullying and to share their policies for repeat offenders.
The school works for us, the citizens, the parents, and every day we trustfully send our kids into those schools expecting the safety of our kids to be protected.
Other parents have also been pushing for an anti-bullying ordinance in Sun Prairie, where tickets could be issued to families whose kids bully or harass other children. All right, 6:35 your time now. Law Enforcement Week continues across the country today. The celebration also serves as a time to celebrate officers and learn some of the biggest issues they're facing.
Adam Duxter joins us live from the Madison Police Department this morning to explain. Adam, good morning to you.
Well, good morning, guys, and I am here in Madison where we're talking a little bit more about the local side to this National Law Enforcement Week, and I'm joined by Madison Police Officer Scott Favor. And Officer Favor, I know that this is a national week for national law enforcement, but it's my understanding there's things happening right here in Madison as part of the celebration, right?
That's correct. Last week on Friday, we had the Law Enforcement Memorial Ceremony at the State Capitol. At the corner of Hamilton and Pinckney Street is the Law Enforcement Memorial. It's a beautiful monument there. It has the names of the fallen officers in Wisconsin on it. Governor Evers, Attorney General Call, and other speakers were out there, along with hundreds of law enforcement officers from across the state of Wisconsin, to remember those who died in the line of duty. Last week, we put 2 names on the wall, officers from City of Milwaukee that passed away last year in the line of duty. And unfortunately, next year we'll put another one from the city of Milwaukee on the wall, and we'll hope that there aren't any others.
This is a job with inherent risks. What keeps you coming back to work each day?
This is a great job, and no 2 days are the same. And it's such a great opportunity to get out and talk to people, interact with people, hopefully improve their lives if possible, or solve a problem or solve a crisis. And to problem solve in a moment's notice, it's a privilege, it's a challenge, and I think that's what brings us back every day. And just having the honor to follow the people who came before, that worked hard, and to honor those who passed away in the line of duty, to carry that. The badge is it's a badge of honor for us, and we just love doing our jobs.
Well, thank you. And very beginning of National Law Enforcement Week, and we'll have more events going on later this week. You can find more about that on our website, channel3000.com. But for now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Adam Duxter reporting for us this morning. Thank you, Adam.
All right, it is 6:37 right now. So when you're in a new city, it's nice to have a friendly face showing you around.
That's why one woman in Oregon is doing everything she can to make unfamiliar faces feel welcome. We'll introduce you to someone who's being affectionately called the Welcome to Oregon Lady. That's when News 3 Now This Morning returns. Okay, we always ask you to share your morning with us, and Kevin is a repeat offender with absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous sunrise photos. This one looks like a couple of geese, maybe some swans in that picture.
It's got like all of my most beautiful, you got the sun, you got the water in there, you got the nature.
Pretty arty with that reflection as well.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing, Kevin. If you've got a morning picture you'd like to share with us, just go to the Channel 3000 social media pages and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. All right, 6:41 right now. Moving and getting used to a new town can be hard, but there's one woman in Oregon who's working to make sure that everyone new feels welcome.
Yeah, for the past 11 years or so, Kathy Grender has been making gift baskets that are filled with freebies for folks who are new to the area. That includes gift cards to popular restaurants in town, gift certificates for free oil changes, gas, and more. She usually meets up with those people at the Firefly Coffee House in Oregon. All of this at no charge to the people she meets with.
The people that I welcome, this is a free service, and there's about 45 businesses in here. So the businesses actually donate all the stuff that I give to people.
Kathy says she's made many good, lifelong friends in her time welcoming others. Plus, it helps people get more acclimated with the area, something she's proud to help with. And I have to say, from a small town girl, these small towns do things that you just don't find in cities.
Well, and I think it's one of those things too, when you move somewhere, it's so easy to just isolate yourself and just try to, like, you know, not meet new people. But it's people like that where it's like you get involved, you get to know the community, and you're just going to have a more fulfilled life.
People helping people. Congrats to you, Kathy. We're so impressed.
Especially to have her right here in our community.
Yeah.
All right, coming up on 6:43 right now, and it's starting to feel a lot more like spring with temperatures creeping up a little bit more every day this week. We are expecting some more sun and temperatures close to 70 today. Hattie's updating her forecast coming up.
But first, it's May 14th. We want to say happy birthday to Ainsley, Logan, Asher, and all the kids turning 3 today. Get outside, enjoy that sun, maybe a little bit of cake, and thanks for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning.
Look
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. We're starting off with some sunshine this morning, but you can see a little bit of cloud cover as you look on the horizon, looking west from the Edgewater Skycam. We're about midway through May, and how has this month shaped up? Well, you'd probably say colder than normal, and you are right. Take a look at the data. Only one day we had temperatures above normal. On the 6th, we were right exactly at normal, but since then, all the rest of the days have had temperatures that are below normal. And you may be thinking, oh, again, it's been cold. Well, how cold? Last year in May, we had 8 days for the first 13 days of the month where we had temperatures above 70 degrees. This year, we've only topped above 70 one day for the first part of May. So we are behind where we typically would be. Good news in that extended forecast, though, if you like the warmer temperatures, we will climb into the 70s starting tomorrow, and then looks like we'll stay there for several days, at least at or above normal going through the next 10 days. So good news, we will start to warm up a little bit. A live look from WISC-TV Skycam, again, looking west of the station. Skies are mainly clear overhead, but you can see some high-level cirrus clouds streaming in from the west. Those clouds are associated with this rain that's moving through Iowa, even a few rumbles of thunder. This batch of rain is going to slide to the south and east, though, most of it missing southern Wisconsin. Can't rule out an isolated shower today, but most areas will stay dry. Here's a look at the future track forecast model. Again, this storm system drifting off to the south. There's a cold front that swings through tonight, though, bringing another slight chance for a shower after midnight tonight. Otherwise, we return to dry conditions on Wednesday. But our next weather maker already on the map, and that one moves in for Thursday, bringing mild conditions as well as a chance for some showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. The front swinging through behind that system then sets up shop right around the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. So we do keep chances for rain in the forecast through the upcoming weekend. Temperatures in the Plain States are in the 50s right now under some cloud cover. A little bit cooler here in Madison. We're at 41 degrees. Temperatures are hovering right around 40 right now, but they'll climb quickly through the day. Take a look at your future track forecast model today. Mostly sunny skies this morning, turning partly sunny this afternoon. Already in the mid-60s by lunchtime today, so enjoy a light southwesterly wind and that sunshine. Highs will be right around 70 degrees. Overnight tonight, you'll notice an increase in the clouds. Again, just a slight chance for a shower, otherwise mainly dry for the next couple days. Starting on Thursday, that's when our rain chances are really back in the forecast, and then again, on and off rain chances through the upcoming weekend. Here's a look at our pet walk forecast. Zeus and the sprinkler. We should all take lessons from this dog. Just seize the moment.
Live your life, Zeus.
How much fun is he having?
Perfect day for that. Get outside, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
Stay with us. The morning sprint is up next. It is 6:52, time for the morning sprint as our team brings you everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning.
We start with breaking news in Walworth County overnight. That's where people in one Darien neighborhood are being allowed back in their homes after what police called a major incident. Our CBS affiliate in Milwaukee is reporting this morning the neighborhood was shut down last night and no one was able to get in or out. It is now considered to be safe. Some neighbors said they believed it to be a domestic hostage situation, but police have not confirmed that. They are expected to release more information later today.
If you're running late this morning for work, here's some advice from Town of Madison police. Slow down. They're cracking down on speeders on the Beltline after one officer pulled over 5 high-speed drivers over the weekend. In one case, a driver was caught going 105 miles per hour. The same officer also caught drivers going 97, 92, 81, and 79 over this weekend. The cheapest ticket was about $150, the most expensive nearly $440.
It's National Law Enforcement Week, and officers across the country are celebrating, including right here in Madison. Part of that celebration is also drawing awareness to some of the issues that officers are facing. And right here in Madison, one of those issues is recruitment and getting new officers. It's also a time to honor officers who have died in the line of duty. Just days ago, memorial service was held for 2 Wisconsin officers killed this year in Milwaukee. Officers from Milwaukee will fly to Washington, D.C. this week to take part in a National Day of Remembrance.
Thank you so much, Adam. Columbia County deputies are asking for more information on the whereabouts of this man, 30-year-old Joshua Martin, this morning. They say he's a person of interest in an incident yesterday where a deputy was sprayed with mace during a traffic stop. Officers later found the truck involved, which had been stolen earlier in the day. Martin is listed as missing out of Dane County and may be in a mental health crisis. He was last seen in the West Point Township near Prairie du Sac.
And our forecast for today calls for some sunshine this morning. Rain to our south and west will move south of the state through the day today. Look for just an increase in those high-level clouds as we head towards the afternoon. Temperatures starting out right around 40, but warming quickly today. We're headed to highs right around 69 later on this afternoon.
Thank you, Hattie. There will be a review of how the investigation into Russia's meddling in U.S. elections started following an order from Attorney General William Barr overnight. He's appointing a federal prosecutor from Connecticut to help him look into whether the intelligence gathering committee activities directed at the Trump campaign were legal and appropriate. Barr claimed during his testimony last month that he believes the Trump campaign was spied on, but didn't elaborate what led him to that belief.
Monsanto is being ordered once again to make a big payment after a California couple says the weed killer Roundup gave them cancer. A jury ruled Monsanto's parent company, Bayer, had to pay more than $2 billion to the couple, who were both diagnosed with the same type of cancer after using that product for more than 30 years. Bayer says they will appeal and that the ingredients in Roundup are safe.
At least 4 people are dead after 2 sightseeing planes collided mid-air yesterday afternoon in Alaska. The planes collided near Ketchikan. One of the planes was carrying 10 passengers from a Royal Princess cruise ship on a shore excursion tour of Alaska's fjords. The other plane was on an independent tour and had 4 passengers on board. 10 people have been rescued. The U.S. Coast Guard says they're still looking for 2 others.
Breaking political news into the Channel 3000 Alert Center this morning. Yet another Democrat is launching a presidential bid. Montana Governor Steve Bullock says he will push progressive policies from a red state perspective. He's the 22nd candidate to officially announce his candidacy. He'll kick off his campaign with a string of TV interviews tomorrow before heading to campaign in Iowa.
It might be another month before Madison School Board names an interim replacement for outgoing Superintendent Jennifer Cheatham. That's according to the State Journal. Board members voted last night to push back on a decision on naming an interim superintendent until sometime in June so they can get more input from the community. Cheatham announced last week she was stepping down to take a job at the Harvard School of Education.
All right, 6:56 your time now. Let's turn it over to Josh Tim with a look at your first alert traffic. Hey there, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. Things are starting to get jammed up on the westbound Beltline near Monona Drive. I don't see a crash reported yet, but things are definitely slowing down back on the southbound interstate. Inbound John Nolan starting to tap the brakes at Rimrock and Olin Avenue moving into the downtown area. And other main routes heading into the city, they're cruising at the posted speeds with no crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you so much, Josh.
And we have sunshine early this morning. A pretty nice forecast coming up. Take a live look from the Edgewater Skycam. Looking out over Lake Mendota, not much wind this morning. The lake looks almost like a mirror in some spots. Here's a look at your forecast over the next 12 hours. Temperatures will climb from the 40s this morning back into the upper 60s, close to 70 degrees later on this afternoon. We do go into the 70s starting on Wednesday. Get that umbrella ready then for the end of the week.
We'll enjoy that sunshine today, Hattie. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us. Go make it a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.